Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to Stalin Starcraft 2 Battle Report. And in this match, I want to show it to you for a very explicit reason, and we'll talk about that as the match goes on. But this is on a 4 vs 4 match on a map called Sand Canyon. And I will be commanding the blue Zerg, my ally Vesret will be commanding the teal Protoss, Daboom will be commanding the red Terran, and Burr will be commanding the purple Protoss. And just for a little bit of trivia, I don't know how many of you guys watched my Left 4 Dead survival matches that I made about a year ago, but Burr is actually Poke from those Left 4 Dead survival videos. So if you remember those at all, he happened to be a good friend of mine. I hadn't played with him in a while, but he bought Starcraft and decided that he would play with us. But unfortunately, he's not quite as good at Starcraft as he is at Left 4 Dead. But it was still cool to play with him again and everything. And this match, I will be this is what I call well, okay, backing up a little bit. Seems that everybody's got their own kind of build that they do, and then they StarCraft build, and then they name that build after themselves or something like that. So I decided that I was going to do something similar, and I'm going to show you guys a build that I call the Stalinator build, which basically involves a fast expansion. As you can see, here comes my drone, pretty much right out of the gate to head on down to this field and expand to it, and then just building drones and drones until you can pretty much just outproduce and outmass all your opponents, which is basically what the Zerg are really good at. And the Stalinator build doesn't work so well for 1 vs 1. In fact, it works terribly for 1 vs 1. But and even 2 vs 2 is a little iffy. It's something I would only do if I really trust my ally, and I know that he will be there to defend me in case I attack. But 3 vs 3 and 4 vs 4, generally you should be pretty good to do this. Especially if you're in one of these back spots here, because you're unlikely to be attacked. Just make sure you tell people what you're doing. Just say, hey, I'm going to go for a heavy economic build, and I'm not going to have a lot of units at the start. But I'll need protection, and hopefully you guys can provide that for me. So just vocalize what's going down. So anyway, we can see that whenever I play with Poke, his name is Burr for some reason, but as you'll see, and actually in the chat logs and so on and so forth, I actually call him Poke often. He's gonna come in with his one zealot, and he's gonna go Rambo with him. And oh my God, I haven't even talked about the other team yet. I got distracted. But anyway, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But as you can see, there was a little bit of harass there with the Zerglings, but he ran right into his barricades. And anyway, Poke's going Rambo with his Zealot, and he was able to take out like 2 probes before he died. But anyway, let's just take things back a little bit. Talk about the other team. Pink Protoss will be commanded by Cosmo. Knut will be commanding the orange Protoss. Pravda will be commanding the Green Zerg, and for those of you guys who might be learned and everything, Pravda actually means the truth in Russian, and Pravda is the name of the sort of Bolshevik newspaper that was founded. And I just love that they called the news. They blatantly call the newspaper The Truth. Is pretty awesome in my eyes. So Pravda will be commanding the Green Zerg, and finally Swarthy will be commanding the yellow Terran. So these guys seem to be a little bit of sort of a rushing group. I've already got my second hatchery up and a couple queens and morphing to lair, so I'm nicely on my way with my little tech tree and resources and everything. So the Stalinator build is in full swing, teching up, gathering resources, and ready for the inevitable time we'll have to outmass and outproduce my opponents. But Poke got ambushed by some of Knut's zealots, and unfortunately they just get swarmed. And I'm saying, I got nothing yet. I can't do anything. and he's gonna get rushed by these zealots coming in, and Pravda has some extra Zerglings coming in to support him, and unfortunately these guys are gonna start tearing down the Nexus. I decided, okay, let's morph in some Zerglings. I get some Zerglings out there pretty quickly. I got a nice little horde of Zerglings to support, and by this time Vesret's got his forces coming in, and our forces are gonna rally, and I'm gonna be able to tear down these zealots with these Zerglings. Gonna surround them. And we're gonna tear up what's left of this force with our combined might. Easily gonna get the surround on those zealots and take them out. And also, this guy is smart. He had one Zergling, and then he took it, and he burrowed. Like I said, he burrowed on poor Poke's spot, so he can't rebuild his base. So, you know, that was pretty shitty. And he's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, do we really need to be having this conversation? You can just move either down here, or, you know, up here, or over here, and you know, take it. You don't really need to be standing around, you know, deliberating what we should do. Anyway, I've already climbed the tech tree pretty quickly here. I've got a layer down, or not a layer. Well, I do have a layer down. I got also got a spire. We went with an overseer. I'm gonna, you know, check what's up there. Getting, you know, more hatcheries down, more drones. And really just want to outproduce everyone. So again, Knut's coming in with more zealots to attack this, you know, skeleton of a base. But this time I've already got Mutas, so those zealots will not be much of a threat. This time. So they're gonna come in, and he's gonna go, oh shit, I'm gonna get out of here. And he's gonna flee, and I'm gonna continue to chase them and kill a couple more. So on our side, we decide, okay, you know what? Let's go for the counter. Vesret and the Boom decide, let's go for the counterattack. You know, this guy's obviously weak. Vesret's gonna charge up the hill with his stalkers, and Knut's gonna bring his zealot reinforcements back in, and they're gonna get surrounded and taken out pretty quickly. Vesret's just gonna bypass those photon cannons, gonna charge straight into Knut's probe lines and start taking out what he can. But Swathy has plenty of marauders and marines, and they're gonna block off the ramp, and they're gonna stop him from attacking. And Vesret sees that dark shrine. He's gonna do what he can to take it out. Fortunately, he's able to take it out, which is a very nice win for us, because those things are expensive. They take a while to build, and that's going to put a huge damper on Knut's teching. Then I come in, but much too late, with I throw in some Zerglings and some Mutalisks, and it's not this battle doesn't end well for me. I lose virtually all my forces, but it's okay, because I still got you know, 2 bases, 2 resource lines going in, and 3 hatcheries. So already I just really quickly start rebuilding those forces, start hatching more Mutalisks and Zerglings, and replacing those losses. So now we've kind of punched each other out. We're going back to our corners to rehabilitate and rebuild. Poke's on the move again. He's rebuilt his base finally. and he's focusing on his economy. I always notice that when people lose their base, instead of focusing on their military, they go all out on their economy to rebuild. And if you actually have people to defend you, that's a very good thing, because then you can, rebuild quickly and focus all on your economy and then get back into the fight. But if you don't have people to defend you, then you're pretty much effed. But I decided, okay, you know what, Mutalisk raid time, it's what I'm good at. And I kind of played this guy like a fool. He was moving in to send his Marines to defend this base, but then I kind of feigned him out and attacked his main base instead. And by the time he got his Marines in there to defend his base, it was much too late, and I'd already destroyed most of his SCVs. See, now I'm finally putting my minerals to good use and warping in a crap ton of Zerglings. A pretty sick force right now. Let's just look at our armies. I got the most. Oh, no, never mind. Vesred has the most. But I'm catching up to him pretty quick. He's got one more supply unit than I do. Oh, I just surpassed him, I think. Yeah, I just surpassed him. Yay me! Again, just hatching more drones, getting my resources up there. Right now I've got 47 drones harvesting, which is just ridiculous. At this point, that's like half my army. But not a lot going on. Then this is kind of the mid-period, the lull in the battle where people are rebuilding. And at this point, we've just about taken all these expansions. Moved to the center place up here below us. And during the entire duration, almost the entire duration of this battle, I'd forgotten that this expansion right here existed. Because this is my first time playing this match, or this map. For some reason, I just, missed this thing. I don't know why. But at this point, I'm also researching adrenal glands for my Zerglings, which makes them attack faster. And with that and the speed upgrade, they're a pretty deadly force. They can tear stuff up pretty nicely. And I was going to attack Pravda because that tactic actually works very well against other Zerg players, because they don't have a lot of buildings and they can get surrounded and attacked with a horde of Zerglings very easily. But he had actually fairly nicely blocked off his base with those spine crawlers and these other tech buildings around here. So finally, Vesred is on the move. He's got mass stalkers coming in. Also, now Knut has rebuilt his Darkspire, and we've got Dark Templars out on the field. So these two armies are staring down. They're ready for a showdown. They're ready for a face-off.